Here we go.
There we go. Everybody, welcome to Drummers Education Connection. It's Tuesday morning, and we are in a new place. So what we're doing today, we're going to take care of a little bit of business before we get started. But today we got our friend Shayne Huff from Deaf and Drum with us. Shayne, how are you today, buddy?
I'm great, man. How you guys?
Oh, man, doing fantastic. Thanks for joining us today. So, Shayne, as I told you before we went live, we take care of a little bit of business here before we get started, and we're going to do that today. So, yeah, what we do is here at Drummers Education Connection, we have been going live to our deck page for quite some time, and we decided to make a few changes. Okay, and one of the changes we wanted to make is, instead of going to our page, we're going to go live to my Facebook page, Bart Robley, so you can watch us there at Bart Robley, and you can also go to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in drummerseducation.com, and you can watch us there. And I would also like to ask you, if you do go to our YouTube channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. There I sound like an official YouTuber. But,
subscribe, smash that like button.
Smash the like button, yo. That's the thing everybody says, right? So yeah, if you would, please go to our YouTube, like and subscribe. Please check us out here on my Facebook page. This is where we're going to be broadcasting from. We're going to be making some new changes coming up here in the next few weeks, but more on that later. We're going to do our normal thing, and that is good things. And that's just something good that you got going on inside drumming, outside of drumming, whatever you got going on. Chip, what do you got going on that's good, buddy?
Man, the thing that I got going on that's good is the same thing that was last time we did a show. I'm going to just say it. I'm stoked to say that I'm now an author on Hudson Music with Stick Tricks and Showmanship. My new ebook is available on hudsonmusic.com, so go check that out. It's a new release, and we're doing well right now. It's doing great.
Oh, man, that is so cool. Congratulations. And I think it's really cool that all the people on deck, all the people that are involved in it are on Hudson Music. It's very cool. Shayne, before I give mine, what do you got going on that's good, buddy?
Man, I'm just happy to be doing this stuff. Prepping to go to Chicago Drum Show on this next weekend. So loading up, printing a lot of stuff out, and getting things ready to drive north and see a bunch of, I don't know, like they say, it's the meet and greet, get to see everybody you hadn't seen in a while. So yeah, great to see a bunch of great drummers and a bunch of cool stuff.
Fantastic, man. That's totally cool. You're going to see our friend Adam Parsons.
Indeed. Lovely man.
Oh, Adam is salt of the earth. I'd like to hang out with you guys just so I could sit between you and listen. I got an English accent. I got a Southern accent. I got an English accent. That would be awesome. That'd be so cool. Anyway, so I got a couple good things going on. First, we're leaving Thursday morning for a couple shows in Wisconsin. It's going to be a heck of a weekend. We play Friday and Saturday in Delavan, Wisconsin, and then we come home, fly home Sunday all night, and we got a gig on Sunday. So it's going to be a heck of a weekend. But the band's doing great. And then this one, a little bit of a story behind it. 2 weeks ago, we played at the Coach House. Coach House is a concert venue, legendary place in between Los Angeles and San Diego and San Juan Capistrano. And it is every legendary act you can imagine has played there, and it's a real honor to play there. We've headlined it, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, played there quite a few times, and we just had a great night. When you walk through the Coach House, everywhere you go, there are 8x10s of everybody that's played there all over the walls, right? All over the walls. And you've got to have to be invited to have your picture hung on the wall. And they invited us to hang our picture on the wall. And I know that doesn't sound like a real big deal. You got your picture hanging on the wall, but it's something very special for us, for the Sam Morrison Band, and really cool to be in that company. So we're excited about that. So that's cool. My good thing. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so Shayne Huff. Shayne and I have met through, we just mentioned our friend Adam Parsons. And Shayne has a great company called Deaf and Drum, and he is the inventor of a product called the Drum Buddy. And I'm going to show my favorite Drum Buddy. right here. This is the Drum Buddy Mini.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I like this one for a lot of reasons, but this doesn't, you're looking at that. What does that have to do with drums? I'm telling you, this thing, whenever you have somebody on a show like ours and they've invented a product, it's really easy to go, this is a game changer. But I'm telling you, I can't play a gig without these things. I've got 3 of them of my own. This one actually lives in my carry-on. And like I said, we're going to Wisconsin this week. It lives in my carry-on because it's nice and small. Put a bottle of water in there. You put drumsticks in there. It's got a space for your phone right here. Your phone slides right in there, and a bottle of water. And I'm telling you, it's just awesome. So there's your phone fits in there. And so great product. Shayne, you're a drummer. How did this come to be? How did the whole thing start?
Well, as you can attest, as a drummer, you've got everything with you all the time. And for years, I've been trying to find, I put my set list on the floor, put my bottle of water on top of it. My keys are there, take my glasses off, and then by the end of the gig, if I haven't rattled the drums off or the keys off the drum riser, or kicked my drink over on my set list, I'm a happy camper. So I'm always trying to find like a little stool or, something. And I saw the Bob's or Joe's Butler from British Drum Company a couple years back, and the word on the street was just that they stopped making them and you couldn't get them anymore. And people were like, "Where do you get these?" And I was like, "Wow, it's cool. It needs a little bit of tweaking, but I could 3D print that." And it just kind of grew from there. A guy on a Facebook forum had reached out, guy by the name of Rick Lanza. I will give him props because I made him one, and he's like, "Dude, you could sell these things." Really? Okay. Because I just made one for myself, made one for him, and then I figured, well, I'll put them out there, and it just kind of grew from there. So, and it's evolved into like the ones that have the 2 holes, the mini like you have that has a clamp on it. Yep, there's the one that Chip's got. It's called the Popeye. The smaller drink hole will hold a regular bottle or can. The bigger one will hold like a Gatorade. That one came about because I got to band practice with mine and I couldn't put my Gatorade in the drink holder. And I'm like, well, I need to fix that. And so the mini that you have will hold a Gatorade bottle. And then just trying to evolve from there. I've just come out with one here, which is I'm calling the Rim Buddy, that will attach to the rim, or say like the bottom rim on your floor tom. And it holds 4 sticks. These 4 sticks are actually angled toward you, so that you can easily grab them out. And same deal, it'll hold a big Nalgene size bottle, so one of those big giant things. So just trying to, keep it fresh, and because people will come up to me at a show and they're like, what would be really cool? And I'm like, I could do that, and so just trying to, I take suggestions when people are, get the product, or if they see one and, they want a different color, or, hey, can you put my logo in it and things like that, which I can, but I don't like to. Mainly because it will cost you more money,
right?
Because it slows the print time down dramatically. The minis, you see, I have my logo in the front of them, and that's just embossed, so that's a lot easier because it's an area that it's not printing. But if you want like special colors and all that other stuff in that logo, it will turn a 8 to 10 hour print into a 3-day print. And so
no kidding, that long, huh?
Yeah, my craziest print so far was a 14-day print. And
what?
Wow.
Yeah, and I was puckered the whole time. I'm like, please don't fail, please don't fail. So when it made it to the end, I was like, yes. But I've done a couple customs for Russ Gilbrook through Adam. He hooked me up.
Mm-hmm.
And Russ would send me a picture, well, here's my new kit. can you do something for that? And like, oh yeah. And some of those, the last one I did for him was just a kind of a paint splatter, kit. And that one took about 6 days to print. So just because.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah. The nature of 3D printing is you could do cool stuff, but it's not going to be quick.
Yeah.
So, but doing things like, just adding like a color stripe, that doesn't really do much. That might add an hour to the whole thing.
Well, I showed you my mini. This is the one that's in my main touring kit.
Yes.
And until you just pointed it out, I didn't even notice that the water bottle holder on this one and the mini were two different sizes. I didn't even notice that. But this is my main one. My kit, I've kind of got, I'm a Gretsch guy. I got a beautiful black lacquer Gretsch kit, and then everything else is chrome. So a black and chrome thing going on. So Adam had this, and so I got this one. And so this is my main one that I carry around. And I also, and real quick, I didn't mean to interrupt your thought. I apologize for that. But I also have the case. So they come in a case, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you got a Drum Buddy case. So you can carry that around, put it in there. It doesn't get all jacked up on you. So anyway, go ahead and finish your, I apologize. Well,
and parlaying off of that, the cases are a great idea. I can't stress that enough. As we were, I was talking to Chip, he, I'd gotten him one, and one of his students smacked it and cracked it. And that brings up the fragility of 3D printing. There are materials that you can print with that are really strong, or I could print the thing solid. But again, that takes a lot of time. So what I've been doing is I beef up the bottom of it to protect against drops. And this Rim Buddy, I've actually beefed up the top as well, because it's designed to sit on the bottom rim. However, you can flip the clamp over and put it on the top rim, and it sits level. So my thought there was, if you went over for the floor tom and whack, it needs to be able to survive that. And you were kind of the inspiration for that one too, Chip, because I was like, I really hadn't thought about that. Who's going to hit the thing? But it happens. I mean, I hit myself, so why wouldn't I? Other items around the drums.
Well, and I like the fact we've had other drum inventors and drum companies on the show, and I like the fact that you came up with this as a lot of good things. Necessity is the mother of invention, and you saw something that needed to be filled, and now you're putting that out on the market. And that's one of the things I love so much about the drumming community, is that you kind of have an idea and somebody will run with it, and the next thing you know, it's taken off. It's kind of successful for you. And that's just
hey Bart.
Yeah.
Bart, can you share my page here and have Shayne take us through the website?
Yeah, sure. Is it, let's see if this does it. There you go.
Can you see that?
There you go, Shayne. Can you go ahead and talk
take us through your website, Shayne. What are we looking at here?
All right. Well, you are looking at, the main picture right there is where I'm hawking my new stuff. So there's the Rim Buddy right there. And one thing that I didn't mention when I was showing the picture is the clamp is actually on a quick release. So you can actually attach it. So you can leave the clamp on your drum. And then,
cool.
Yeah. So that way, for packing it up, you can throw that in your case, which I am going to have to make a custom case for this, because this won't fit in the other case, unfortunately. But you can you can put the drum back in the case with this attached, so you don't have to get down under it and get to the thing, because it attaches with just a regular rim clamp and a drum key. So there's your the attachment method there.
And the catalog, we're going to take us through the catalog and explain some of this stuff here, because I don't see, this doesn't look like Drum Buddies on the top here. It looks like different stuff. And we want to know what all this stuff is about.
Absolutely, man. So the Belt Pack Buddy is a device that will allow you to clip your IEM belt pack, wireless, like if you've got like a IEM amplifier or even a mic, you can clip those on the belt pack. Inside it, inside that loop there's actually a little holder for a 1/4-inch plug, so you can stick that in there to take the weight if you're playing with a wired IEM. And the cool thing about this over, we'll say, the other guys, is that there's 2 different mounting options. As you can see in the picture there, it comes with a clamp arm, and you can either get it with that clamp arm or the seat mount. So the advantage there is that you can take it with you as opposed to having it screwed onto the bottom of your throne all the time.
Right.
And there's a quick release on that as well. Same one that I'm using on the Rim Buddy. So you can pop it off to pack it up. And that clamp will, if you go that route, you can clamp that on the upright of your upright post, and it'll stick out, proud of the throne. So you don't have to have it screwed on. But you could go with either or both of those. So like you could screw the little base plate onto your home throne and then buy a clamp and take it with you if you're playing a backline kit or something and you still want your IEM holder.
Right on.
Then the XL version is the same idea, but there's a little slot to one side for your phone and then a bigger slot for your wallet and some other and keys and stuff. So you've got the options in the event that you don't have a drum buddy on hand, you can put all your stuff right there.
That's cool.
Same mounting method.
That's
like
fantastic. I've seen on the page, stay there for a minute, Chip, scroll around a little bit. You have some stuff on there for non-drummers, that they can put on a mic stand or something like that, the whole guitar picks as well. Is that
there's
the pick holder, yeah.
Yeah, so there's the guitarist pickup, which somebody asked me, he was like, hey man, can you make something for the guitarist? Because they keep stealing my drum buddy and I'm getting kind of annoyed. So what I did there is the guitarist pick cup doesn't have stick holders, but it does have two holes for Sharpies or whatever to, so they can, since they like signing autographs and stuff. But then it'll also hold, let's see, I think.
There you go.
18 picks, so you can stick a bunch of guitar picks in there and clip that on your mic stand and jam away.
Now that's a cool invention as well.
That really is.
Yeah, my guitarist, actually I got to get it to him. He was asking me, he said, hey, can you come up with something that I could, instead of putting it on a mic stand, because he doesn't sing in the band, his side band, he's like, could you get it so it'll attach to my amp? So I removed the clamp and put a big magnet on it. And then I've just got a little piece of metal that, a little angled piece like on a hinge that flips under the amp head and falls down, and you can just stick the thing to the side of his amp that way.
Oh, okay.
So,
I
but
see
it'll
what you're
still hold, big Monster Nalgene bottle and your wallet, your all your stuff, your phone.
So the magnet's strong enough that it's
it's a beast. I don't have it on the website. I've been really wanting to just see how it goes, and then I'll probably put it up there. But
what kind of now I'm going to really geek out on you. Is it like a neodymium magnet or is it a ceramic magnet? What is it?
Yeah, it's let me grab one actually.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love that one. That's cool.
That's red, white, and blue, baby.
The Atlanta one. So that one, okay. Is this what you're talking about here? Where that's obviously totally custom. How long did that take?
That one only took 3 days. So my printers have gotten better. So that's not too terrible. So 2.5, 3 days.
Okay.
And that one, when you go back out of this, you'll see the orange splatter one right there.
Yeah.
That's the one I did for Russ, or the second one I did for Russ.
I've actually seen that one in person, not that one, but the sunburst one in person.
Yeah. So that one took about, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Russ has got the sunburst one too. Yeah. Yeah. So the magnets are these big giant neodymium. Yeah.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna remove this for just a second, Chip, because I want to see that magnet. Okay. Let me see.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Check out the magnet.
Yeah. So big, large hand-sized magnet. So this sucker's got some stick.
You don't want to get your hand stuck between that and whatever.
No, I pinched the crap out of myself when I was putting on this first time.
Dang, dude, if that's neodymium, that's a big magnet.
Yeah, I think it's like I think they said it'll hold like 100 pounds, but I mean, I doubt. I mean, maybe straight down, but I mean, if you're on the side, it's still going to start sliding. So
scrape down, yeah. That's really, really, really cool. Hey, I'm going to go back to this. Chip, do you have more stuff you want to show on the website?
Well, there's just a ton of pictures here, and we want to make sure everybody goes to deafenddrum.com and checks it out for themselves. But there's just tons of great looking, unique looking drum buddies, like this Cyclops right here in blue is just beautiful.
Yeah, so that'd be your Cyclops Mini, and the those it's a little bigger than the Mini that you have, but it's in the same vein as the Cyclops. So it's got 4 stick holders instead of the Cyclops. The full size Cyclops is 8. But the cool thing with this one is there's you see the crab clamp. It can mount with that crab clamp just like your Mini.
This can also, right here, right?
Correct. Okay. But it also has the ability on the back to mount with a tom mount. You can see the holes through the picture there. So you can put the chrome tom mount just like you have on your full size one back there.
Yeah.
If you want to mount it off, like an L-arm bracket, or if you want to mount it with a crab clamp, you can put the crab clamp there on the other side or the back. So depending on where you want the drum buddy, if you want it on your right or your left, you can put the clamp on either side. The original Mini, like you have, is a right-handed version. And I also, if you want it to mount on the other side of the drum set, I'd have to make you a left-handed version. So, so that's why I made the Cyclops Mini, to alleviate having to have 2 different ones in stock. You can just put the clamp on the other side.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to put you on the spot for 1 second here, Shayne. Okay. You and I, when we talked the other day, you had mentioned that to one of our viewers, you will give away a drum buddy on today's show, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So here's what we're going to do really quick. We're not going to do it yet. Doesn't matter where you're watching us. If you're watching us on Facebook or if you're watching us on YouTube, we have viewers on both platforms right now. Put your name in the comments, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube. Just put your name, and right before the end of the show, Chip is going to remind me, and we're gonna pick one of the names, and you will win a drum buddy. So put your name in the comments, both on, like I say, on Facebook and on YouTube. Okay, so cool. Let's go back to this. A minute ago, you called this a crab clamp.
Yep.
Okay. Again, the reason I like the Mini so much is 2 things. It does fit in my carry-on. This stays in my carry-on unless it's on a drum set at a backline gig. And it has the crab clamp on it. Now, the other ones, the full-size ones, like this one right here, this goes onto a tom L-arm, right?
Yep.
Just out of curiosity, why did you not put the crab clamp on the bigger ones? Did you find it's not strong enough, or what was the reason for that?
That was the original one I made. I used the regular tom clamps. I was going off of what I'd seen, with the what people have done with toms, pulling a top head off and piling all their stuff in there. So I figured an L-arm clamp is something that I swear everybody's got laying around.
Right.
So I started with that route because I had a couple laying around. And then down the road, I was like, you know what? I wonder if I could make a small one with a clamp. And so that's where it came about. But I will say on the what I have done on all of the drum buddies now, they're what I call dual mount. So as you see here in the middle, there's a center hole that will mount a crab clamp. So you can either have this guy or you can put a crab clamp on it. So it comes native with this. However, if you buy one and say, hey, I really want a crab clamp, just email me and I'll take this off and put a crab clamp on it. Or you can buy a crab clamp separate But it, again, I've got holes on both sides, but it's, it's got the big hole in the middle to allow you to mount the crab clamp. Because not everybody does have the L-arm clamp, and that crab clamp will clamp on some big stuff. Like you can clamp it on the leg of your rack. It'll open up that big, where to get an L-arm clamp that'll open that big, you're generally going to have to go to the rack manufacturer for their own specific clamp.
Completely. So
that the crab clamps definitely do come in handy in that respect.
Hey guys, I just want to break in real quick and say hi to David Betts, who's watching from the UK. David Betts said good evening. He also said behind every invention is a mind willing to dream differently. There's some amazing stuff here, Shayne. At the moment, I do have a Joe's Butler, but once that fails, I know where I'm heading. I also have Mike Herbert is watching. What's up, Mike? And Fred Fisher. Fred Fisher says, I've got two, one from Chip and one from Adam. I've definitely had a few drummers inquiring about the Drum Buddy. So
excellent.
Very cool. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys.
And remember, if you just tuned in, be sure to put your name in the comments. We're going to be winning. Somebody's going to win a Drum Buddy here before the end of the show, but your name has to be in the comments, YouTube or Facebook. The L-arm thing, I mean, either one is cool. The L-arm thing is great. The crab clamp is great. You had mentioned that the crab clamps open up really far, and I like the crab clamp because I don't carry a rack. I used to. I don't have a rack anymore, but I usually put it either on my hi-hat stand, or the way my setup is, I have a cymbal stand that's like kind of in between, if you will, my top tom and my hi-hat, and I'll put it on there, and that crab clamp is perfect for that. It just is. Have you found that people gravitate more towards the design, or do they like, I don't care about the design, I just want this color, or is it both?
It's a mixture. It's kind of fun at the shows because I love watching the double take, because I try to put as many colors and stuff in there as possible, and then people are just kind of walking past, just browsing, trying not to look, and then they'll stop, go back to that thing, and they're like, oh my god, this is great. But then online I get a lot of emails of just here's a picture of my kit, can you make something in this pattern, this color? So it's definitely a challenge. It's a fun challenge, because unfortunately 3D printing you're stuck with the colors that are out there. And one of the reasons I print in a material called PETG for most of my stuff, because it's stronger-ish than the PLA, which is, I guess, kind of the basic stuff. But what's better about it than PLA is it holds up to heat better. So like if you've got it in a van in the middle of the summer and you got a stand leaning on it, if it was PLA, it would come out all mushy and warped.
Really?
The PETG is going to hold up a lot better. But then the stronger, more engineering filaments are very limited on colors. You don't have the colors across the board. So when somebody sends me a picture of like a burgundy, drum set, I've got a line I can go through and say, well, I've got this. It's close. Is it close enough? And usually it is, or I can use it as an accent color. So the whole thing isn't. That's where like the stripes came from. Where I would try to. You'll notice like on yours, the lines are bigger, they're graduated down to smaller, so it kind of gives the appearance of a fade, which is really about currently the only way to do that in 3D printing is to smaller lines to bigger lines to kind of come up with that fade look. So I'll use it to, if you're using black in there with it, you can kind of mute the color a little bit. If you put some white in there, you can kind of brighten it. Even if it's the same burgundy, it might match better if it was against a white background or black, depending on, which side of it is. So it's really an exercise in just trying to be creative.
That's awesome. Hey, Shayne, Fred Fisher and me both want to know, where did the name Deaf and Drum come from? What's the origin of the name?
Well, I'm half deaf. I'm
What? Huh?
yeah, exactly. Yes. I'm totally deaf in my right ear, and partially deaf in my left ear. I'd say a lot of it has to do with Marshall stacks and my snare drum.
Yeah.
I had a brain tumor when I was about 21, or removed when I was 21, that took out my inner ear and my whole right side hearing. And then when I was in like 10th grade, I fell off the bumper of a van that was moving because we were being idiots and riding on the back of a van. And I fractured my skull, and it we'll say it dislocated the bones in my ear. So to hear, I popped my ear, kind of like, like you're scuba diving, you pop your ear out.
Yeah.
And that's when I can hear almost 100% out of that ear. But if it pops back in, it's like a built-in earplug. So I can walk in front of at a concert, walk in front of the front of house, speakers, and just pop my ear out. And I got about 40% hearing in that ear. So it's kind of handy. It's also great for sleeping because, I can sleep on tour while the band's going just completely berserk, and I'm driving, so I'm over here on the couch just sleeping on my good ear, and I don't hear them.
That's such a great attitude to have. What a healthy attitude to have about that. That's awesome.
That really is.
You got right.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you went through that, man. That's that's a drag, but that's a cool way to come up with the name. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'd been losing my hearing since somewhere in high school, and I just assumed it was because of loud music. Because I've been playing in bands and playing heavy metal and crazy stuff my whole life.
Yeah.
And so I never went to the doctor about it. I even failed the physical to join the Navy because I couldn't hear out of that ear. And, they're like, well, sorry, you failed your physical. I'm like, okay. So I didn't do anything about it, but eventually it got really big, and it was screwing with my equilibrium because it had caused it was growing against my brainstem and caused my cerebellum to swell.
Oh, no.
So I couldn't play drums. I couldn't play piano. I had like no rhythm at all. I was just like, I was like clapping on the ones, even though I'm thinking like, cool bop beat. And I'm like, guh, guh, guh. So finally I went to the doctor, and they're like, oh, you've got this brain tumor thing. Yeah, that's why. Oh, cool. So can we take that out? Yeah. And so we did. And,
dang, dude. Well, I'm glad you made it through it, man. I'm glad you made it through it.
Me too.
And I think you got a great attitude about it. Like Chip said, I joke about that too. Hearing loss brought to you by Marshall amplifications and Gretsch snare drums.
You know it, man. Yeah, people talk about, a 9mm is 200 decibels. I'm like, yeah, so's my snare.
So's my snare drum. Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember, put your name in the comments, Facebook or YouTube, to win a drum buddy. So, when you're on, you were talking about the filament that you use, right? The two different filaments. I don't know. I've watched videos on 3D printing. That's what I know. Is one of them more brittle than the other? Because you said something like if you're outside in the summertime, they can melt. I've had my drum buddy in Arizona heat, and it's not done anything outdoors.
That's what I'd love to hear. Yeah, the PET G stuff is good for outdoors. There's a product called ASA, which is like people print car stuff with, that really takes the heat. Same with nylon. They take heat really well, but none of those are really like black, white, gray. You might get a few other colors. ABS plastic is what I started using. And it's pretty strong. Most of the plastic stuff you have is ABS plastic.
Okay.
The problem with that stuff is it costs more, and it's more toxic fumes when it's printing. So you really need to vent your system. And since I've got all of my printers in this office, it would probably not be great for me to be, smelling a bunch of ABS fumes constantly, or I'd probably have another brain tumor.
Probably.
So I figured PETG seemed like the best middle ground, and it deals with the heat. It is somewhat brittle if you drop it on concrete, which most plastic is, but again, I try to beef it up so that it doesn't just shatter into 1,000 pieces. So it'll take a hit, but if you own one and you kill yours, email me and I'll replace it. Just don't do it 3 or 4 times. or buy a case and that won't happen.
Like I said, I have 3 drum buddies. The one that I have here in the studio is the same as this one. And it's actually right now, it's right there, the kit in the studio, and I never carried it in the case. Right. And so when I got this one, I got the case for it. And this actually, when the drum set's all broken down, every night it's broken down and put inside of flight cases. So that case goes inside of a case, and it's, it's a drum buddy, and it sits there and it holds your stuff, but it's not all scratched up and beat up. And I mean, whatever. I like that. I appreciate that. I think if you're going to spend the money and buy one, get the case with it,
Yeah, that's what I figure. I mean, it's not mandatory, obviously, but it does help. I mean, and if you're playing, if you've got like really good case setup, and a lot of like ATA style cases where you're putting everything in, single case, that you really don't need the case. If you're just throwing stuff in the back of a Honda Accord, you might want to put it in a case.
Yeah, right. So, exactly.
I mean, my DW kit I bought, I had them custom make it back in '95 because I was driving a Honda Civic and a little hatchback, and I needed it to fit in my car. And I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be a 20-inch kick, just all small sizes, so it'll fit in my in this Honda Civic. So in soft bags. When I bought the hard cases, that I had to get a bigger vehicle.
Yeah. One of the things that I tell all of my drum students, I'm like, look, you just spent, whatever. I'll throw a number here out there. You spent $3,000 on your brand new favorite drum set, and you're going to go take it out and do some gigs with it. Don't cheap out and not spend the extra $500 for the cases, because you're going to put it in your Honda Civic and beat the crap out of it, and it's going to be shot. So I think I kind of look at if you're buying something like this, you're going to spend a few bucks on it. It's going to be a product that I'm not kidding you. I love it. It's going to be a product that you're going to use, and you put it in a case. It doesn't get banged up, dinged up, tweaked, broken, and it's, buy it with it. Now, do you make the cases as well?
No, I designed it, and I had them made by a company. I bought a bunch of them in bulk, so at least to be covered. Yeah, and I'll probably restock in 6-8 months, depending on how things go. But I've still got a stack of them in another room that I'm like, I need to sell some of these cases. But
after being on this show, you're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be flooded with business.
Oh yeah, exactly. The only fun part is while I'm at the show, I'm going to have to mute a lot of things on the website, because otherwise my wife will be calling, honey, where is the blue? It's with me. Crap. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Now, what about the pointy things? Those are for the top of a cymbal stand or a wing nut thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, little cymbal toppers.
So which came first, the cymbal toppers or the drum buddy?
The drum buddy, actually.
Really?
That was, the cymbal toppers was just somebody on a forum, like, and actually the metal nerds or something, metal drummer nerds, I think. And they were, somebody's like, hey, he had a picture of somebody's kit from the 80s with spikes on it. He goes, you know anybody that sells these spikes?
That's got to be Mike Tarana.
That's what I was just going to say.
I don't know. I've sold a surprising number of these things, in all different colors. I started just doing them in black, and then somebody would email me, hey, can you do one in purple, or hey, can you do one in red? So I've now got some that are in gradient colors and, red tips and stripes, and so
and they just thread on
it's got an 8mm thread in the bottom, so it's it'll thread onto any current cymbal stand. I do have some 6mm inserts if you're like, I've got a couple old stands, so the 6mm works on those, but generally speaking, and I've done some custom stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with Count Chocula. He's a drummer in Fort Wayne. Super cool guy. He
Count Chocula.
I like that.
He sent me his stage persona is kind of a little demon on stage. So he sent me his picture. He goes, hey, can you make a cymbal topper that looks like me? I don't know. So I messed around with some graphics, and I came up with this little
wow,
little demon.
That's
cool.
It's
threaded in the bottom. I made him one that's a bit larger than this that I sent him, and it was a little too big to be a topper, but he's got it mounted on the front of his kit. And then I've got about 6 of these that I'm going to send him when I get back from Chicago.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this little guy, well, the big one took about 4 days to print. I printed about 6 of these, and it took about 3 days because they're smaller. So it wasn't terrible.
That's good.
Well, I have I have Bart Simpson everything. I mean, ever since I was even before Bart Simpson, like when I, turned 16 and got my first car, it was the Bart Mobile, and the Bart. It's always been that way, right? So I've got a Bart Simpson on top of my bass drum. So I need you to make me a Bart something. We'll be in touch on that.
Well, yeah, I'll have to look at that. Yeah, it's the things that I don't sell that are owned by other people's IP, but
I know. Yeah,
I'm sure I can make you a Bart Simpson head.
Now, how many printers do you have going right now? How many 3D printers do you have? Did it start with just one and then you expanded, or what?
Yeah, it actually started at work. I had a 3D printer at work that I was using. I worked in the film industry as a tech nerd, if you will. So after the pandemic, you couldn't get a lot of parts. And so the feet for stands and little parts for little plastic parts that we needed all the time were like a year back ordered. We're like, well, we could just 3D print these things. So we got the printer, and I started messing with it there. So when this all came up, I didn't have a printer of my own. I'd been looking to buy a printer, and I printed the first couple on the work printer. Like I'd set it to print, it'd print overnight, so I'd come in the morning, like it'd either be good or it'd be just a bunch of spaghetti on the thing. I printed the most perfect bird's nest. It was great. It was supposed to be like a drum body, but none of the filament really adhered like it was supposed to. So it looked like this woven basket. It was the coolest thing, other than the fact that it was a wasted 12 hours of printing and $40 worth of filament. So I ended up buying a printer, and that's grown. I now have 5 here at my house. I've got 2 newer ones that are dual head, dual color, or they can do up to 20 something colors. I can do up to 8 colors on the thing, but that's when it starts adding a lot of time. But even the single heads, I can do multiple colors on. It has to feed it all into the same head, and it purges all the crap. So there's a lot of waste when you do that.
Right.
So the multi-head ones don't waste as much. So there are 5 of them going in the background now. If you hear the whirring and clicking.
A couple of times I've heard it, but for the most part, they're pretty quiet. I actually thought, let me see. Yeah.
There's a little army of printers. There's one back there in the corner. So yeah, they're all over the place.
That's cool, man. I'm kind of a DIY guy. Yeah. And I love making and bolting and fixing and stuff. I love that stuff. And for a minute, I thought about buying a 3D printer. I looked at a few of them online, and kind of thought about it, but I've never
They're
pulled the
flat,
trigger.
man. Like I almost want more to just do stuff not deaf and drum related, because it's, there'll be things that I'm like, wow, you know what? I need to print. Oh crap. I don't have, mine are all working right now. I can't print that. So, but you need a hanger for a broom. Well, the ones at the Home Depot kind of suck. I can make my own, they're great.
That's really cool, man. And so you got into it just because you had one to work.
Yeah. And I've always done kind of engineering stuff. I design, I do AutoCAD and the like, CAD assist, computer assisted design programs. So 3D modeling is something I've been doing for a long time, and doing lighting design and for trade shows and movies and all that stuff. So I know the programs, and so it wasn't that hard to output it. And it was easier than calling up my metal guy who's got a CNC shop, because that's going to go through countless revisions that cost a ton of money. Where
And
if I
be
print
very
something
heavy.
out, oh yeah, well, and if I print something out and it sucks, I can throw it away, and it cost me $2, instead of like $75 worth of material, and then it just gets recycled.
Right.
So that's the beauty of 3D printing, is that you can do so much. The problem with 3D printing is that you can do so much. And so you'll spend 10 hours designing this thing and making it and printing it out, and then realizing, oh wow, I could have bought that for $3 on Amazon. But I made it myself.
Oh, you made it yourself. So you kind of have to know a little bit about CAD and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, and there's good programs that even the one I use is Fusion 360, and there's a free version of that. You can download it and learn it, and then if you really get good at it, or you really want to do more, you can buy, because the pay versions have a few more features, but you can do everything you need to in the free version. So it's phenomenal.
That's fantastic.
Larry asked, do you use Vectorworks?
I do, not for this stuff as much. I do for my lighting design and trade show layout stuff. So yeah, I've been using Vectorworks for about 20 years now.
Is that a program for designing?
Yeah, it's a design program. It's 3D modeling, or like 2D or 3D layout. Anything from architectural. You can design a house in it. You can do or you can design a drum bed. Either way. So
it's amazing. I watched this thing actually when I was thinking about buying a 3D printer, how they're 3D printing houses now, literally.
Oh yeah.
In concrete. I was like blown away. In concrete, and
that stuff is cool.
And like they build a house in a day.
It's
and it's pouring out concrete, and they put why? Oh my God, it's amazing. It's amazing. Really cool stuff. Well, Shayne, what about, is there anything specific to your company that you want to plug right now? Like, is there anything upcoming, or a new product, or a new color, or anything that you want to like, hey, I can do this for you drummers?
Well, I mean, I will say, obviously, the nearest thing to plug would be the Chicago Drum Show. So if you were in the central north in that area, come out. It's a great show. I'll be there. A lot of drum manufacturers and a lot of swap meet type stuff. So you're going to see people with a whole booth full of vintage, really amazing drums. You're going to see a lot of manufacturers with cool stuff, ones that and then others that you may not have ever heard of, like me, little independents that do some cool stuff. As far as products, I mean, like I mentioned, the Rim Buddy being the newest. One product that I have and have sold a bunch of. I make a clip for the EAD10 module. So basically the EAD10, it's designed to clip onto your bass drum, but a lot of people like to use it as an overhead. So this guy in Germany emailed me and said, hey, can you make a mic clip for the EAD10 module? And so I did, which is this. It's the EAD10 module clips onto here. You mount it onto a mic stand, or I've got an adapter you can screw in here that will mount to a cymbal stand, so you can mount it on a boom arm, and hang it overhead. Or if your ride cymbal is just blasting it, but you just want to move it, 6 inches to the right, but you got to get it off the drum, the little clip works. Now that Yamaha's come out with the EAD 50, the DSU 50 module has a different clip, very similar. But as you can tell it's longer. So the way it mounts is bigger. So I had to make a new clip for it. And I've also, which I haven't put it online yet, I made one that you can actually pivot. So you can loosen this and then, so that way if you're coming in from the side, but you need to turn it, you can loosen that up with a drum key. If I can actually reach it. Watching me online. Yeah. So yeah, if your stand's coming in here, or actually you'd be like this, but you want to, spin it that way, without having to move the stand. So I'll put this one online after the show, after I print some. But I've had the EAD10 and 50 modules clips for a while now. There's a Yamaha group for that on Facebook, and I posted a link. Like, I made a couple of these, and then I just posted like, hey, if anybody wants this, hit me up. And I printed about 10 of them. I got like 20 orders that night, and I was like, oh crap, I got to print more. And so since then, I probably sold about 200-300 of these things, just all over the place. Like, I've sent them as far as, I'd say the Emirates, Arab Emirates, but that one actually got returned because it got lost in the mail. But I've sent them to New Zealand. I've sent them to China, Japan. So I ship everywhere. You will notice, obviously, that shipping is absurd if you live in another country. Right. The one thing, if you live in Canada, I don't, I will sell you this, but my website will not let me sell to Canada because I'm going through Batterista sales up there. So Batterista has gotten a lot of drum buddies in shops around Canada. So if you want a drum buddy and you're in Canada, go to your local shop, or on my website under the dealers, you'll see Batterista. You can reach out to them and they'll tell you what shops have them. And if they don't have what you're looking for, I'll make it, send it to them, or send it to you direct, but the sale will go through your local store.
Got it.
So, okay. Because that way, I don't want to undercut shops or any people like that. So it's not in my best interest. I'd rather shops have these things because
good business policy.
Yeah, man. And I mean, I can only do so much with my online presence, but if the thing is sitting on a drum set in a store and people walk in, they're like, what's that thing? I want it. It's a lot, I get a lot more eyes on it. People that have never heard of me just going through drum stores. So, go to your local drum store. If they don't have it, tell them to reach out to me and say, I want to carry your stuff.
Very cool.
I work with some dealer rates, and we'll definitely give you a way to make some money as well. So
that's fantastic. All right. So real quick, if you're watching and you have not put your name into the comments, whether it be on Facebook or whether it be on YouTube, go ahead and put your name into the comments, and we are going to pick a name here in just a moment.
It's time. Put your name in now.
It's time. Put your name in. Shayne, we want to say thank you so much for
thank you, Shayne.
Yeah, this has been great.
Oh, thank you guys. Thanks for having me on, man. This has been great.
Yeah. And Adam, Adam is salt of the earth. He's a dear friend, and he's, spoken very highly of you. The 2 times that I've called you and talked to you on the phone, great dude. I am going to talk to you probably next week sometime. Like I say, I'm leaving this week to go out and do some shows. I'll be back home. I'd like to talk to you about getting some dealer rates for my students.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of my students would love to have a drum buddy. So we'll do that. Chip, are you going to pick a name? And you got to be here in the continental United States. I don't want to have him, So yeah, what do you got?
I got just at random. I picked out Alan O'Senton. You were the winner of a drum buddy.
Excellent. So, Alan, here's what you're going to do. Since we are broadcasting to my Facebook now, what I want you to do is DM me your information, and I will get that to Shayne. Unless you want to reach out to Shayne directly at Deaf and Drum. Doesn't matter to me. But whichever way you're going to do it, just let me know what's happening. Shayne and I will be in contact, and we will get you a drum buddy because you just won one. And Shayne,
congratulations, Alan.
Yeah,
thanks for watching.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Yeah,
and the way I'd say the best plan of action is go to the website, look at everything on there, and pick which one you want. And then as you reach out to Bart or me, and then I will send you a discount code that will basically comp all the cost on it. So you can, I'll send that back to you. Then you can go to the website, buy the one you want specifically. It'll cover shipping and everything, and I'll ship it off to you.
Wow. And how often do you get that in a show on YouTube and Facebook? How often do you get that? That's rare.
Yeah, and if there's not a color that you want in the specific style that you want, let me know, and that way I can get it made. I won't be able to make it if it's something that I don't currently have until next week because I'll be in Chicago. But I will make you if you need a freaking pink and orange one or something, we'll work it out and
right on
within
Thank
the
you,
limit,
Shayne.
of like the styles that are on the website. So we'll have no problem there.
Thank you.
right on. Alan just DM'd me, so he's
stoked.
He's stoked.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll get that. So Alan, if you're still watching, make sure you go to Deaf and Drum and look at the colors, pick the color you want. I'll send that stuff over to Shayne. Shayne, I'm going to be talking to you because I need a rim buddy. I need a rim. I don't know how I'm going to play the gig this weekend without a rim buddy. It's not. I don't know how I'm going to pull it off, but I'll figure.
You'll love it. Yeah, you just let me know what color and all that, and I'll get you one packed up.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Okay, guys, everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure, please do us a huge favor. Please go to YouTube, Drummers Education Connection. Like, subscribe, smash the like button. And who knows, maybe you'll win a drum buddy and a dream date with Chip Ritter. Who knows?
Hey.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We got some new stuff coming up. Be sure to tune in every week. We got some surprises coming up on Drummers Education. Until next time, for God's sakes, would you go practice, please? Pick up a pair of sticks, hit the pad, go practice. We'll see.